Hello, brothers and sisters. Thanks for joining me again today. This time I want to talk about what happened with those two men who got into an argument in front of the Turkish embassy in London. While one of them was burning a Quran in protest, the other attacked him with a knife. So I think I remember reading this about 6 months ago, but I never did a story on it because we really never heard what happened to them. Well, it appears that the court has finally made a decision on the man with the knife. So let's read about it and see. I have a feeling I know how this is going to go. I haven't read it yet, but I think it's likely to be another example of two-tier justice in the UK. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Let's see. So out of the Daily Mail, Quran burning protester slashed by knife-wielding Muslim says decision not to jail his attacker is disgraceful example of two-tier justice. Well, there we go. The guy who was burning the Quran sure feels like a guy who attacked him with a knife should get the jail. You tell me. What do you guys think? If you did this and you were just a normal, average, everyday Briton, would you have got the jail? Let's see why he didn't get the jail. A protester who was slashed with a knife by a Muslim man, furious that he was burning the Quran, has slammed the disgraceful decision not to jail him, claiming it shows Britain has a two-tier justice system. Activist Hamid Koskan, 51, shouted, "Fuck Islam. Islam is the religion of terrorism, and Quran is burning," as he held a flaming Islamic text aloft outside the Turkish consulate during a protest in Knightsbridge on February 13th. Musa Kadri, 59, then came out of a residential building and told Mr. Koskan, "I'm going to kill you," before returning and slashing at him with a bread knife. He later told police he was protecting his religion. Oh, so to me, that actually makes it worse. He didn't have the knife with him, and it was a crime of passion. He actually went back to get a knife. I'm thinking he probably should have just called the police if he thought the guy was committing a crime, but I am a fan of taking care of things yourself. I thought it was a serious offense to try to kill people with knives in the UK. Perhaps not. But despite the horrific attack being caught on camera, Judge Adam Hiddleston handed Kadri a 20-week prison sentence, suspended to 18 months. Speaking exclusively to the Daily Mail from his home in the Midlands, Mr. Koskan blasted, "We are faced with a double standards when it comes to dealing with Islamists in the UK. This decision was a morale boost for Islamists. It's disgraceful to the rule of law." So yeah, again, if you're in the UK, would you expect to get 18 months suspended for trying to kill someone with a knife? There's a two-tier justice system in place. The situation is causing serious fractures in society. Yeah, I actually agree with that statement. He angrily added, "I believe that Islamists have increased their influence over UK politics. Even the bureaucracy has been intimidated." Kadri testified in court that he was protecting his religion. His statement was considered a mitigating circumstance. Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, the Karens are running the courts and the legal system and the government in the UK. Everyone is so afraid of being called a racist that any slight offense that gets criminalized. I say no. If somebody attacks you with a knife, we shouldn't care what religion they are and give them a lighter sentence because they're a Muslim. And if you have no blasphemy laws in the UK, then that shouldn't really be much of a mitigating circumstance. Now, I personally think incitement to violence is wrong, and even in what he did in the U.S. would be completely legal. You can burn the Quran in the U.S. You can burn the Bible in the U.S. You can burn the American flag in the U.S. It's only things that a reasonable person would consider leading to immediate violence or maybe untrue defamation that you're not allowed to say in the U.S. But I do think we should move the goalposts a little bit on that one, because I do think burning a Quran, burning a Bible, burning anyone's holy book, or burning the flag of the country you're in is an incitement to violence and should be criminalized. But it's not. That's really the fact. So what they have in the UK are these crazy, vague, stoking religious tension type laws under the public order, hate speech type stuff. But they're so vague that you can be thrown in jail for anything, pretty much. And that's why they're going after people for saying naughty things on the internet that the government doesn't like. It's really a way for the government to suppress speech that they don't like. And then also for the Karens, because the Karens don't like you saying naughty things about the victim classes like minorities. And so they're pretty happy to criminalize you there too. No, justice needs to be blind about race and such. We don't need hate speech laws. If somebody attacks somebody with a knife, they attack somebody with a knife. Get them for that sort of assault. If somebody murders somebody, get them for murder. You don't have to do special stuff because it's hate. They murdered somebody. Of course they hated them. A lot of people get murdered or hated. Prosecute them for murder. Let's get rid of all these hate laws. I don't like them. Discussing the outcome of Qadri's trial at Southwark Crown Court, Mr. Koskin fumed. I was shocked when I heard the verdict. During the attack, Qadri swung the knife at my throat. I was saved because I stepped back. So here it is here. And I think about this. The guy got, what was it? 18 months suspended. Lucy Conley got 31 months not suspended for mean tweets. And I think she got out early for good behavior because of prison overcrowding. But she still got 31 months in jail for saying something mean. This guy attacked somebody with a knife and got no jail time. There is definitely two-tier justice in the UK, 100%. So here's the footage. I think that's a pretty good picture there. Absolutely attacked this man with a knife. Here's one of the men. Here's Mr. Koskin. I believe he was the Quran burner. Here is Mr. Qadri. He is the man with the knife. The incident was clearly captured on camera. Mr. Koskin claimed that if his attacker had not been Muslim, then he would have been imprisoned, and the case also highlights the eroding of free speech in the UK. Yeah, if free speech is burning Qurans, absolutely. You can do it in the US, but again, it looks like you can't burn the Quran in the UK. Can you burn a Bible in the UK? I don't know if you can. I need to look that up. Tell me in the comments if you know. Have people got to jail for burning Bibles in the UK? Can Muslims just burn Bibles? I'm going to have to look that up. He said, criticizing Muslims has been made a crime. Freedom of expression is being eliminated. People are being arrested daily for their comments on social media. Yeah, that's the Karens. Islamophobia is being used as a weapon to silence and intimidate people. Furthermore, by exonerating attackers like Qadri, the judiciary is instilling fear in society. Yeah, that's right. That is just causing people to self-censor their speech and not criticize Muslims because everyone knows that the courts will come down on you and not them if something escalates. Qadri was also required to carry out 150 hours of unpaid work and 10 days of rehabilitation. Okay, so he got 18 months suspended plus 150 hours of unpaid work and 10 days of rehabilitation. Again, is that fair? Do you think he should have got more? Mr. Koskin said this erroneous and unlawful decision has been met with astonishment in international. There cannot be privileges in the law for Muslims if the law is comprised in this way, and then the path to social tensions will open. Well, I don't know. Don't they have Sharia courts in the UK? I'm sure Sharia courts would be just fine with this. Was this a Sharia court? I thought it was the Crown Court, but hey, tell me if there's a difference in for my UK viewers. Following his Quran burning, Mr. Koskin was convicted at Westminster Magistrates Court in June of a religiously aggravated public order offense. Yep, that's what they get everybody for speech that the government doesn't like. I think that's what Lucy Conley got 31 months for. I hope this guy doesn't get 31 months when the guy with the knife did not get incarcerated. An appeal against his conviction is due to be heard next month. Okay, he's on appeal. Mr. Koskin has argued that his criticism was of Islam in general rather than its followers, but District Judge John McGavra said he could not accept this, finding that his actions were highly provocative and motivated, at least in part, by hatred of Muslims. Potentially so. I think I can agree with that statement. Should hating Muslims be a crime? Should hating Christians be a crime? I don't think it is in the US, but I guess it is in the UK. But I hope it's hating both sides, not just one, that's a crime. I definitely don't like the two-tier thing. His case prompted campaigners to claim that it was an attempt to bring back the blasphemy laws in the UK, which has been denied by the government. The decision to spare Qadri jail has also been criticized by free speech campaigners who have warned that extremist Muslims have been given a green light to take the law into their own hands. Yeah, they know they're not going to get to jail when they use violence against people speaking out against their religion. It's a problem, Mr. Starmer. General Secretary of the Free Speech Union, Toby Young, said Mr. Qadri's sentencing, this sends a green light to any Muslim who wants to enforce Islamic blasphemy by taking the law into his own hands. The court is effectively saying that if you attack a blasphemer with a knife, he will be convicted of causing you harassment, alarm, and distress, and you won't have to spend a day behind bars. That's exactly what happened here. National Secular Society Chief Executive Stephen Evans said free expression should never be met with violence. Criticism or destruction of religious texts, however, offensive to some, is a legitimate form of protest. Again, it is in the U.S. I don't like it. I actually do think it should be criminalized, but it's not in the U.S., and I don't believe it is in the U.K. Tell me if I'm wrong. In a free and open democratic society, people must be free to challenge ideas and beliefs without fear of attack. Shadow Justice Secretary Robert Jenrick said he has written to the Director of Public Prosecutions to ask why tougher charges were not brought against the attacker. I thought knife crime was a big problem they were trying to crack down on in the UK, or are they only doing that for the elderly Royal Marines who kill burglars in their kitchen who are robbing them? He shared footage of the attacker slashing his knife and wrote, "This Islamist has dodged prison despite attacking a man with a knife for burning a Quran. I challenge anyone to watch the video and tell me he shouldn't be locked up." I'm not going to watch the video. Because if I do, YouTube might not like it. But come here and watch the video, or look for it on Twitter later if you want. I'm not going to link it, but I will link this story. Shadow Energy Secretary Claire Coutinho added, slashing at someone with a knife because they offended your religion by burning the Quran, no jail time. Posting nasty words on Twitter, jail time. Yep, Lucy Conley. Cadre 59 of Kensington, West London, had pleaded guilty to assault and having a bladed article in a public place. His trial heard that Koskin, who is half Kurdish, half Armenian, traveled from his home in the Midlands to set fire to the Quran. Now, I'm not saying that's right either, actually. There may be fire laws for setting fire to things out in public. He may have been breaking those laws, but he wasn't charged with that. He was charged with the hate offense, is what I saw. And it does have to be your own property. I don't see burning other people's property is a good thing ever. But your own property in a public place where it's safe might be okay. But again, I do think the holy books are incitement. It shouldn't be done. Cadre approached and asked Koskin why he was burning it. Koskin could be heard in the footage making a reference to terrorists. Cadre swore, calling him an idiot, and said, "1 sec, I'm coming back." He returned with a knife and slashed at Koskin, the court heard. The judge said the way Kadri lost his temper was disgraceful and that the use of blades is a curse in our community. Kadri said to Koskin, "Burning the Quran, it's my religion, you don't burn the Quran." He later told police, "I protect my religion." Greg Unwin, defending, said this was a response to a very unusual situation that Mr. Kadri has demonstrated regret and remorse for. His reaction was, in the heat of the moment, to what he perceived was a deeply offensive act on a holy book. No, it wasn't heat of moment. He went back and got the knife. All right, so that's what I think. Here's the guy who did the stabbing. Here's the guy who burned the Quran. What do you guys think? Should you be able to burn the Quran in public as a form of protest? Should you be able to stab people for burning the Quran? Is that incitement? Do we need to change the laws? Was this two-tier? I will do a follow-up story when I see what he's charged for with. If the guy who burned the Quran gets jail time, this is 100% two-tier. But we will see. We'll find out. Is stabbing somebody in the UK a less serious offense than burning the Quran? We'll find out. Let me know what you thought of this. Like and subscribe if you do. If you don't like it, tell me so in the comments what I got wrong, or just don't watch me. Thanks. Bye.